Hi, I'm Tony. This is Slack. Welcome to Smog Vlog. Today we're going to be reviewing, why not? This is That Was March and April Mega Vlog.
Alright guys, so yeah, welcome back, and crikey, welcome back to us as well, because we haven't been here for like a month or something, I think. It certainly feels a lot longer than that. It feels like since forever, since we were sat on the sofa chatting crap about vaping, especially chatting crap about the vaping news. So yeah, we've got 2 months worth to catch up on. Ooh, but don't worry, we're going to try and keep it to a minimum. We sort of handpicked some of the bigger bits and the things we think are relevant and worth chatting shit about.
Okay guys, so yeah, this was supposed to be the super mega awesome vlog, but because it was going to be 2 months worth, but we're just sort of like picking and choosing the highlights really from those 2 months, the 2 previous months. So it should be quite a manageable mouthful, if you will. That being said, if you only come here for the shits and giggles or specific sections like shout outs, whatever, as always guys, time codes are down below, so just skip to the bit you're looking for and it will be good.
Yeah, so we've been away on holiday. We'll probably fill you in on all that later on in the vlog, after we get through the news, because we like to start with the news, start business, end on pleasure, you know. And yeah, it's been interesting coming back, looking at the vaping news again in the past week or so, because where the TPD is about to hit in Britain, that is pretty much all of the vaping news. Everyone and their cat is posting stuff about the TPD and what it means, and it's still fairly sketchy, you know. There's some stuff that's really easy to follow. So you got the things like the 10ml bottles that are no stronger than 20 mg nicotine, the 2ml tanks, all that sort of stuff. And after that, everything just starts getting a bit wishy-washy, bit uncertain. So it's still how it's all going to play out, you know. Registration of e-liquids, how's that playing out? We don't know. We just don't know. We do know that there is this impending doom. For the 19th of May, 20th, I think 19th it runs out, because it was launched on the 20th last year, yeah. So it runs out on the 19th, so after the 19th or on the 19th, that's it. It all changes, but quite how it changes does remain to be seen. Hopefully we're just going to see our favourite e-juices still there, in different packaging, in 10ml bottles, and you know, it's not going to be a mega massive change, but I don't know, we'll see, but we're not going to dwell too much on that, because we're still going to be only reporting the same shit we've done the last couple of vlogs about the TPD, in that, yeah, it's coming, it's sketchy as fuck, and yeah, we'll just ride it out and see what happens. But yeah, that is massively dominating the news, certainly in the UK and Europe, but yeah.
To clarify a couple of points, when he says that it's going to be hitting the UK, we're only sort of talking about the UK because that's where we are. It is going to be affecting the whole of Europe, all the EU nations, even though we're not actually in the EU anymore. But that's
we
are, but we aren't. You know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, sort of thing. But anyway, that's another grey fucking area that we're going to have to deal with down the line. And when he talks about the registration of e-liquids, that's for the like of manufacturers of these e-liquids, not us as sort of like general purchasers. Us as sort of like just the purchasers, we only have to worry about, well, nothing really.
Well, just whether your favourite e-juice is going to be available. That's where we're sort of concerned about. Obviously, we as consumers don't have to do the hard yards, but because the manufacturers, the vendors, and all that sort of stuff are going to have to do a lot more work, and yeah, there's going to be a lot more paperwork, and by paperwork I mean money changing hands. You know, that may impact what we end up seeing, aside from, like I was saying, the bottle size, stuff like that.
So wrapping up this first little information tidbit for you, we'll be updating you further in the next whole vlog that we do next month. But in the meantime, guys, I mean, if you find anything noteworthy, any decent deals on juices, hardware, anything, fucking get in touch. I might put the email up here again, just because.
Yeah, I mean, keep your eyes posted on, like, you know, forums and shop sale sites, because they are going to have a lot of TPD clearance. You know, so much stuff. Yeah, UL Crown, really common. not going to be able to sell that anymore because it's not a 2mm tank, hence the Crown Mini. But you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff sort of appearing and disappearing, and it's already been going on. We, you know, go to sites looking for stuff, and it's already sold out. You know, and you see that they had a decent sale, but yeah, it happens quite quickly, and certainly in the last few days before the TPD, I expect to see that, you know, happen frantically. So yeah.
I can't blame anyone because, you know, if you find something you like and it's just dropped fucking so much in price, you're just like, fuck it, 2, 5, 10. I'll buy 10 of those just because you won't be able to get any more. And it's going to be more cost efficient to buy it now as opposed to after when the TPD hits. So we can't blame anyone, but I wish we'd get there first for these deals.
Right, okay, moving on from the TPD in Britain, we're going to spend a little bit of time in the good old US of A. And there's a bit much of a pants shot there.
Sorry if we whopped you in the face. You arcing back to Instagram when I was going to be on holiday with all your cock pics.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about what's going on in America now, because there's some big waves happening over there for vaping, and being one of the places that makes quite a lot of the vape stuff I like, or certainly designs it anyway. You know, this is all big news, and yeah, let's talk about the first one.
Now Bishop is dead. That's what Slack wrote down. I mean, I'm not taking any fucking ownership for that one. Anyway, launching into this article, so the Cold Bishop Amendment, even though it's got written in the article here, Act, so they were trying to make it an Act, but it was actually an amendment as far as I know. Any Americans out there, drop a line, leave a comment down below, let us know, correct us, we're all about getting the information right. So it was trying to amend basically the grandfather date. Smooth.
Yeah.
Which would have saved, you know, fucking all the products basically on the market. That sadly got shot down in the House
Of
Representatives.
ass.
Um,
Joking. One word at a time.
This is new, really annoying version of Smog Vlog.
Yeah, so that is a massive blow for America, because, you know, that means everything from 2007 onwards now has to be registered, and loads of financial implications there. Loads of stuff needs to come off shelves. You know, this is going to happen very quickly. You know, we're talking a few months or something. But yeah, 2007 is what the date was originally proposed. The amendment would make it 2017. However, that's been blown out, and so here we are. Everything 2007 will have to be amended, assuming things stay as they are. So yeah, that is a massive blow to vaping, and sadly big news.
With that being said, though, not all is lost.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a silver lining here with Representative Duncan Hunter. He is, it's just a fun name to say.
Fucking drinking game is that?
Yeah. I don't know, it happens. Yeah, he's putting forward a bill which is basically going to exempt vaping from the tobacco stuff and sort of introduce it as a nicotine replacement therapy, which would mean it's getting regulated completely differently, and it wouldn't be subject to these sort of draconian, very harsh FDA rules as they currently stand. There'd probably be a new set of rules which would hopefully be a bit more lenient, I would imagine. That's the plan.
The important thing there is the fact that instead of lumping vaping products in with tobacco products, they get their own separate classification in the likes of...
Like chewing gum.
Exactly. Yeah. I was about to say the name there, but I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to give them fucking advertising revenue, bastards. Yeah, those nicotine replacement therapies.
Yeah, I did already name drop that.
Did you?
Yeah, you weren't listening.
I'll bleep it, don't worry. So if that happens, that will be a lot more favourable for everyone, seeing as no one will have to put up with this shit. And with the likes of the leaders of the free world, as it were, setting the pace, everyone else should fall in line. Or at least take cues from it, which would be good.
Yeah, so while the Cole Bishop's out, this does look to go sort of that step further, and it actually makes a lot of sense to me. Even his chief of staff is reported as saying the Cole Bishop amendment is like trying to gain an inch, whereas this would be gaining a yard, and that really is the case. It just makes so much sense. This is a nicotine replacement therapy. You're getting your nicotine, but it's not tobacco. It's not tobacco. It's not a cigarette. You don't burn it. It's not a tobacco.
No.
Well, we know that. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm just get angry about these things, so I'm going to keep repeating myself. But yeah, this just seems really good and sensible. And there's a lot at stake at the moment. There's lots of votes and like mid-terms or whatever they have, mid-season breaks, spring break. I don't know what's happening, but American politics is happening. There's lots of pressure on this. Then, as we go report on in a minute as well, where there's been a lot of changes, and stuff like this, stuff that the FDA is doing, people vote based on shit like this, and so there are a lot of eyes on it politically as well as just the sort of like consumers.
So really, what that translates to, in as much as what Slack just said, is the 2018 midterm elections, where voters can actually vote the representatives out that haven't actually stood behind this bill, that are basically anti-vaping.
And cowards, all cowards. Yeah. So it's the thing with politics. You think you're there and lording over everyone, but you serve the people, and they count with their votes. So, yeah.
Don't know about cowards. Maybe just enjoy their kickbacks a bit too much.
Maybe. Who knows? Or maybe they just didn't want to make the sort of wrong waves. Sort of stand up against people or look to be. But yeah, we'll see.
Moving on.
And still in the US, next article, Dr. No.
Okay then, what a lead-in. So, Dr. Vivek H. Murthy is out as US Surgeon General.
Bye! Yeah, no love lost there from vapors, so yeah.
Dismissed.
Yeah, hard and fast. Just how I like it.
Oh yeah.
He's out there, and it is very quick, very unexpected, and very welcome amongst vapors, surely, because he was a bit of the dick about vaping. I think we can all agree. He is just everything. He is clearly very anti-vaping, and he liked to base that on non-factual nonsense and stuff, which is great. That's exactly what you want for the Surgeon General. Yeah, well done. But he's out, which is good. This is Trump coming in, like stamping his thing down. He opposed Trump on a lot of things, so it was obvious it was going to happen. But the fact that it's happened quickly and quietly and unexpectedly, when there's still a lot of work that Trump needs to do elsewhere, that he's focusing on this to get rid of him. But it's good for us because we got rid of anti-vaping person who was in like one of the worst positions you could be in. For vapors, so good.
Okay, so while it's great that he's been sort of chucked out, told not to let the door hit his arse on the way out sort of thing, what was a surprise when this happened was the fact that no one was actually lined up ready to take his place.
Yeah, it's not a surprise. Trump's done that with like most of the stuff, so it's not a surprise to me. I mean, to a sane person, that might seem really ridiculous.
When I say a surprise move, I mean a surprise move in the whole fucking history of the United States. Kind of a surprise move. However, what with like you said, Trump coming in, all fucking bets are off. With that being said, the person lined up, or at least being reported on social media and some websites.
Gizmodo, we'll name drop.
Yeah, we'll Gizmodo. Saying that Rear Admiral Sylvia Trent Adams is lined up to take on the post.
Sort of friendly with Trump, and she sounds pretty awesome. She's actually not a doctor, and I think this is a first, where she's only a nurse. I say only a nurse. She's also like a servicewoman with the Navy, maybe some fighting force, and she's got a great service record. So only a nurse. It's still awesome, and if she's not anti-vaping, that's going to be one huge step forward for America, and the rest of the world's going to benefit from this as well. So it'll be good.
Well, hopefully, if those line up and they see it our way. We're still not 100% how Trump's sitting on this, and
he likes money. There's money in this.
I know. It's worth something to him if he can get benefit from it somehow. So as long as he works that out, I don't know. Hopefully if the previous article with the NRT things takes hold, then there'll probably be some kickbacks there for, I don't know.
Well, it's a massive industry. There's loads of kickbacks because you're just making and selling stuff. So, there's definitely benefits to be had here, aside from the benefits that we would get, in terms of quitting cigarettes.
Yes, I agree. But the minute with, a large percentage of these products being made outside the country, he's already made fucking inroads saying, I want stuff produced in this country so that I can see benefit from it. I want American jobs. Hey, I'm fucking quoting him. I'm saying what he's saying.
Yeah, but then you look at his campaign stuff and his Make America Great Again, and they're all hats and shit made in China, which is where all this stuff comes from. So, you can say it all you like, but, he's still a businessman. He's still a businessman.
I can say it all I like. I think Ford might have something to say about that, since they've had to move 3 plants back into America.
Wicked.
Yeah, which is great for the American people. More jobs, more money.
And hopefully better built cars.
Yeah. Right, staying in the land of the free for the next article, new FDA guy.
Yeah, so Scott Gottlieb has been nominated and has got Senate vote approval, and there's just like the final vote to go, which will happen at some point in the near future. We don't think it's happened yet. We don't think the date is announced yet. But it looks like he's going to end up heading the FDA. Now that's going to be a big change at the top, and it's good because this guy is not an anti-vapor, which is what we seem to have running the FDA at the moment. So that's a good start.
Maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, it looks better. It looks like he's got a sensible head on him. He's been involved in one paper that sort of talks about the benefits of like nicotine replacement therapies and stuff. So, we sort of see from that point of view that there's a sort of sensible head about him.
But then we look at the opposing view where he's sat on boards, one of those boards being GlaxoSmithKline, which is Big Pharma.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're a pharmaceutical company that makes a great deal of products, mostly good.
Big Pharma are anti-vaping.
However, Scott himself, Mr. Gottlieb, he is a board member of Cure, which is a vaping company or distribution company. So he's fully aware of what goes on in the vaping industry, the money to be made there, how it sort of works at the moment, and he's going to be seeing that what the FDA is doing to vaping. He's also aware of how the positive effects of these nicotine replacement therapies. And so, putting all those pieces together, it certainly looks to paint a better picture than the current FDA setup.
At this stage in the show, you might be sort of starting to identify glass half empty, glass half full. However, that being said, there's nothing concrete as yet. We can only judge him by the actions that he takes, and they better be fucking right, otherwise I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, it is all on the actions they take, but given the other stories we've just been reporting on, with the sort of change for the Surgeon General and other bits like that, there's a lot of changes going on in America that could suggest that maybe things will start looking better for America. I really hope it does. We really hope it does. Things are pretty grim at the moment. There's just fingers crossed for America. Because I love American e-juice. That's all.
Just the e-juice.
Sure.
Just spent 2 weeks out there.
No, I love America as a nation. The people are great. Yeah, look, I'm wearing the stars and stripes. I do love America as a nation. But for me personally, sitting here in the United Kingdom, the thing that affects me most is going to be the American e-juice, because I love American e-juice. One Hit Wonder, Rocket Man, my favourite one. I reckon that is my favourite one at the moment. Love it. And we don't want to see it disappear. That simple. It's just for a personal, pure, greedy thing. And I think if vaping gets fucked up in America, it's going to really impact the world. America are a really big part of vaping. They've been instrumental in the progress of vaping, and it would be a real shame to sort of thwart that, to stifle that in any way, and that is what they're facing at the moment with the FDA regulations. So to have all these changes coming, where it looks, even if it is just a light at the end of the tunnel, a little glimmer of hope, it's good to have that hope to hang on to. Right, last story for our sort of American sort of segment here, and in the Navy.
In the Navy. Moving swiftly on. So the US Navy is banning vaping on all of its ships, submarines and aircrafts for personnel deployed there, which is shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be sucky if you are like serving for your country. You may be shipped off to sort of somewhere near North Korea, and you're basically putting your life on the line for your country, and you vape, and you can't anymore. However, I kind of see this one. The reason they're doing it is because they're worried about the amount of explosions that happen in vaping devices when they're not handled correctly. And if you're hauling missiles about, you can't risk shit going wrong near there, and also it's injuring their staff. Okay, there is an argument that a correctly handled vape device is perfectly safe, but this is what it's based on. It's based on the exploding devices and the unsafe nature of the batteries.
So this policy is going to be taking effect on the 14th of May this year, which is still shit. I can't emphasise that enough. No matter, I appreciate that argument. However, I think from the guy's point of view, that is proper fucking balls. Because what about everyone on these ships, submarines and aircraft carriers that smoke? Do they have to get rid of all their tobacco and shit like that? Or are they still allowed to smoke that? Because if that's the case, well, that's a bit of a fucking two-tier system then, isn't it? And that's bollocks. Because, okay, so 2 points to clarify here. If you're in the Navy and you've got any more information on this, hit us up, let us know what the situation is, whether tobacco is banned on there. I can't see it happening somehow. The other thing that I find shit is that for traditional tobacco smokers on these ships, submarines and aircrafts, when you make port, you can go to fucking anywhere and just buy a pack of cigarettes and there you go, you're all sorted. Try and find a fucking vape shop in the back of Timbuktu. It ain't that easy.
That's true. I mean, with the cigarettes are the expensive part in the cigarettes. The packaging, is sort of cheap throwaway. Vaping, e-juice is the cheap part, really, and it's your hardware, which you can't have with you. So each time you make port, if you go be there for 2 days, you have to go buy a whole vape setup if you want to vape. And then just bin it.
And then bin it. Yeah. I mean, fuck's sakes.
Yeah, it's
bullshit.
Yeah,
I think is the word we're looking for. Absolute fucking bullshit.
However, I mean, if I was on a ship and I knew that someone could be vaping a device that they haven't looked after properly and it could explode right next to a fucking warhead, I'd feel a little bit safer. So, there are sort of... You can kind of understand where it comes from.
Well, I can see what Slack's saying about, exploding vape devices next to nuclear warheads. Not that I think that would probably be a thing. It sounds like the setup's a really good film, though.
Yeah.
I don't believe that serving personnel are able to carry those things while they're actually performing their duties. It would be a sort of thing where you sort of clock off, then go to your quarters, and then pick up your thing.
Yeah, maybe, but,
I don't know.
If you're in a submarine, the last thing you want is a vape device exploding. Anything that's going to go wrong, when you're...
I'm pretty sure the last thing they want to go wrong is the actual fucking nuclear warhead exploding. But, whether that's actually caused by the exploding... But I don't know.
Yeah.
Would it even be fucking possible? Nuclear warheads are usually timed.
Well, I mean, that isn't the reason they're doing it. It's more for the fact that it's injuring their staff, and they've got a duty of care and stuff. And
absolutely.
Sailors have been injured by exploding vape devices. So, we kind of get where it's coming from. It is definitely shit if you're a vapor and you're in the Navy, putting your life on the line to serve your country, and then you're getting these shitty rules imposed on you. I mean, that's got to suck a bit. But, we're reporting the news. There's the news. Right, moving swiftly around the globe to Australia. G'day.
G'day, you flaming galah.
Brilliant. Well, seeing as Tony's busy filling his face at the moment, I might as well kick this one off. We were asked by Terry Gill to sort of update us on Australia, and so yeah, basically there was sort of trying to get the sale of nicotine sort of reactivated, re-allowed, as it had been banned by Australia's TGA, Therapeutic Goods Administration. I don't know, some random TLA. Three-letter abbreviation. So anyway, that just got blown out the water, and so vaping is still shit in Australia. I think the law does vary state to state, from what I was reading, but the crux of the matter is vaping devices are not allowed to be sold in Australia, and nicotine is not allowed to be sold. You can buy e-juice if it doesn't have nicotine in it to use in your vape devices. You're not allowed, and you can import e-juice with nicotine if it's got a prescription. You can only do it's such a fucking ball ache. It's shit. I mean, it really is shit. I really feel for the guys in Australia.
It was designed to be convoluted so that it put people off having to fucking or being able to do it, because there were so many fucking hoops to jump through. It's bullshit again.
Yeah, and unfortunately that was the TGA's final decision on the matter. No nicotine. End of story. So, yeah, that came through maybe in April, maybe before. I know we reported on this in February, and I think it was a brewing up for the vote about then, when we did the sort of March vlog, the vlog in March for February, and so it's a no. It's like a big kick in the balls for Australia.
Staying in Australia. Exactly in Australia, not moving anywhere, left, right, up or down. A firm has been fined $55,000, Australian dollars?
Sure.
Australian dollars. For?
Selling e-cigarette stuff, but making the statement with their stuff that these products don't cause or contain cancer-causing chemicals. And so they've been like, yeah, they do, prove it. You know, and it's the big argument. And we're just going to slap you with a massive fine. Massive fine.
So this article kind of covers before what our last article was saying about it being fucking completely batshit crazy in Australia. The Australian Competition and Consumer Commission basically had a go at this guy for making false claims that none of the e-juices and products contained formaldehyde and the like. However, upon that, probably that commission taking those products off of him, because they do like seizing their products as evidence, bastards, and performing all the tests. And this would be on the e-juices, like, you know, that you and us sort of use, probably on those. They did find the trace amounts in them, and based on that took it to court, and the justice said, well, you fucking said that they didn't, and now the government organisation is saying that they've been found in it. So you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, even though it's a hell of a lot better than the alternative, which coincidentally enough Australia fucking hate as well.
Yeah, so I mean, was it a dick move? Was it an accident? Because we're talking trace amounts. Did their tests just not find these things? You know, were they not good enough tests that they done, or was it just a statement? I would just say that and it'll be fine. We've seen a lot of e-juice manufacturers lie, over the years about what goes into their e-juice. There's some really, really big makes who still use diacetyl, even though there's been massive call from the vaping community, the scientific community, just cut that shit out. Suicide Bunny, I kind of almost didn't want to mention names, but yeah, they got caught out on it. And then they went and said, we've gone to a new factory where it's all automated and we've removed diacetyl. And then it turns out that they haven't gone to a new factory, or maybe they did, but it's still not automated. It's still people in, hairnets and hand doing everything, and it still contained diacetyl, so there's a lot of companies have done this, made statements saying we've done something, we've removed something, we don't do this, and actually they do. Illusion, the company here in question, they made a statement that was false, and they are being shafted for it. They're actually in liquidation now. I don't know whether they're in liquidation before this happened. This may have been, they may have liquidated before this threat of legal action. I'm not sure how that pans out. But regardless, they're being fined.
Well, it's a typical company move. If you go into liquidation, then any fine that is handed down, how are you going to be able to reclaim it? Because your stock's just been liquidated. So, and it also this goes on to say that the guy now works in Bali as well.
Yeah, are they going to see any money out of this at all? Yeah, so it's one thing to hand the fine out, but will they get the money?
Probably because, like we said earlier, this is before all of the whole shit kicked off in Australia. This wasn't about maybe handing the fine down to the individual. It was about making a statement to others saying, this is the stance that we're taking on this. This is what you expect. And then they fucking banned pretty much the whole fucking industry. So
yeah, not a particularly fun article to talk about. It all makes sense. It all, it's shit. It is shit. And with that, let's close the door on this one and move on to the next one. Okay, next to slightly happier news, we're going to take a short journey across a stretch of water, and, well, relatively short compared to from England, over to New Zealand.
Yes, that short hop, skip and a whatever. Anyway.
Relative,
it's all relative. They're much bigger in Australia, so it's relative. No. Part Maori. Anyway, come on. New Zealand have now legalised vaping, which is fucking awesome. They've looked at all the details of it. They've met with campaigners. They've taken a fucking really level-headed approach to it and said, "Yeah, this is a good thing. We're okay with it."
Yeah, New Zealand have plans to get New Zealand smoke-free by 2025, I think. And this is going to help that. This is going to help people quit smoking. And it's a good thing. There will be rules, there will be enforcement, but apparently it's going to be a lot softer than, the TPD and certainly the FDA. So, that can only be a good thing. And hopefully more countries will see this and think, oh, hang on, it's working for them with their sort of more softer approach. And, that is good news.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of news outlets saying this is putting added pressure on Australia. I can't see that somehow, but it would be nice to think that.
Yeah. One of the main things that the opposition was saying about in New Zealand about legalising e-juice and vaping products and stuff was that is the whole gateway argument again. But still, there is no sort of gateway to smoking argument to be had, really. There's no evidence to support it. There's been loads of studies around the world, and, the unbiased ones all come back and say, actually, it's not. And from our experience, we're talking to people, some people, there is an element of people who are non-smokers who do start vaping. But that's not because that they think, they want to start vaping. They're using it as like a barrier because they don't want to start smoking. This has never been sort of considered. You never see this in the media. The sort of barrier effect, as we call it. Because if someone is in that situation where they are going to end up smoking, like I was when I was at school, like so many people were in that sort of peer group sort of thing, having some product there that means you can still get the experience but not tobacco with all the the harms that tobacco causes. It's only a good thing. And take that aside, the fact that there isn't evidence that people who start vaping then go on to smoke, it just doesn't happen. So that argument, the government have seen sense and they're like, this is not really an issue, we don't see this as an issue, reports support that, so let's just go for it. And well done, New Zealand.
So, totting up our next article, plain stupid.
So, a lawsuit from the CEI, Competitive Enterprise Industry Institute, and CASA is being held up, which aims to reverse the ban of vaping on aircraft and flights in the US. Now, the argument there being they're sort of making is that there's no evidence that passive vaping is bad for you, secondary vaping, if you get it right. So, why ban it in the first place? They're saying that the US Department of Transport has sort of massively overstepped their mark and therefore they're sort of trying to bring legal action to it. Now, I kind of get their argument, that, there are no health concerns. However, I actually do agree with the ban on vaping in planes. it's a tight enclosed area, and take the exploding battery situation out of the way, because not everyone looks after their stuff. But ignoring that, because that's not the argument here. It's about the fumes in the plane. Forget what the fumes are. Like, for instance, joss sticks. If joss sticks were allowed, or you're allowed to burn them on a plane, for instance, you're not. But if you were, I wouldn't want to be on a plane with someone burning a joss stick. There's no health concerns there, but that fucking smell, I don't like being around that. And so I wouldn't want to do that. Wouldn't bother me sitting on a plane full of vapors, but as a non-vapor, you could see why it would bother people, just purely as a comfort thing, not a health thing, as a comfort thing. So I wouldn't personally want to vape on a plane around that many people in such a confined space.
You handing across to me?
Yeah, here you go.
Here I go. It's an interesting argument. We were just discussing this before we started filming, and while we both agree with what we're saying, what he said I completely agree with. Doing our trick of devil's advocate, which we do, playing the other side of it, where does this end? Look, coming back to CEI and Kassar's arguments, they've overstepped. So where will that overstep stop if we let them carry on? Are we then going to tell women that they can't wear overtly pungent perfumes? Men can't wear strong colognes? Where does it stop?
Well, yeah, but they're not basing it. I mean, I kind of get that.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I'd sooner sit next to someone who smells nice of perfume than someone who smells of BO.
What if there's a perfume you don't like and you've got to sit next to them?
There are no perfumes that I don't like more than BO. So,
Have you smelt every perfume?
I haven't smelt every BO yet, but
there we go.
Yeah.
You might find one you like.
You never know.
And I was talking about the BO.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly sort of lots of angles to be had with this argument, and I sort of get them all. But personally, like when we reported on the flight, vaping ban, I said actually, I do support it, and my support still sort of stays with it.
All right, guys. So there you go. That's what we think. I mean, we're kind of agreed on the subject, even though I gave the devil's advocate sort of scenario, because you've got to look at all the angles, all the vantage points, like you said. But what are your thoughts? This is a conversation. Leave us a comment down below. What do you feel? Would you feel okay sitting on a plane that was, full of vape?
These guys would. You're not going to be watching this if you're not going to be okay.
Not
to be
necessarily.
Around,
not everyone's the fucking same.
That's true. Yeah. When I was a smoker, I used to love smoking cigarettes, but second-hand smoke's fucking turgid. It's awful.
And equally, there are some e-juices that we don't like. And what if you're sitting next to someone that's vaping one of those?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Unless they can open a window on the plane.
Next up, IQOS.
IQOS?
WeCOS. COS! Okay, so IQOS, I Quit Ordinary Smoking, possibly, is what it stands for. That's what's been bandied about.
They did an interview with the head guy there and he said it doesn't actually mean anything.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. Stuff like that doesn't come into existence with it. Anyway, it's not about what it's called, it's about the fact that it's been submitted for the FDA approval.
Submitted for FDA approval, also meaning pre-market tobacco application.
Yeah, PMTAs as they're commonly called. Well, not commonly called because this is the first one. This is the first product that's actually going through this process. Now, with this process, the basic idea is you have to prove that it's safe and it's got health sort of benefits. It's okay for public health. That's kind of the crux of it. This is why no vapor products have gone through it, because they don't think it will get through, but they also don't really know, and it's going to cost a fuck ton of money. Now, Philip Morris have already spent millions apparently on this IQOS device, on developing it and research on it. How far they've got, how much, we don't really know, but the fact that they've gone ahead and submitted it is going to be interesting. I mean, it's not a sort of standard vapor device, it's a HNB, or heat not burn device, where it heats the tobacco. So it's not like we know vaping, but it's also not like smoking, but it is tobacco.
The benefits to that heat not burn whole system is obviously you're taking away combustion, you're taking away the fact that the thing's being set on fire. It's not going to be releasing any of those nasties.
Is it? Isn't it?
They say.
That's what they say.
We've got to get it through the PMTA before they can make their ruling and say yes or no.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. It's another alternative, because maybe it will be okay. Maybe it'll be good for your health compared to smoking. Not good for your health, but not bad for your health like smoking is, and traditional use of tobacco is. So yeah, it will be interesting to follow that. Not only just sort of following it for that, but for how this PMTA pans out. What's involved in it, what how they get hung up on it, what questions are asked, what studies have to be provided. So it'll be interesting to see how it works, and because no one's done it, no one really knows, so it will be interesting to follow this one through.
Wrapping this article up very quickly for you, I mean, this is only a new thing as far as the FDA are concerned in America. They're, according to the article that we've just read, Philip Morris International have already been selling this product in several countries since 2014 and doing quite well from it, so hopefully a step away from the cigs.
Right, okay, it's time for that last article. It's a bit of a feel-good article. It's a look to the future, and it's about better batteries from Goodenough.
I thought you were going to slot that in there. So guys, to give that heading a bit more context for you, at the University of Texas... At the University of Texas, Austin's Cockrell School of Engineering, 94-year-old Professor John Goodenough, co-creator of the lithium-ion battery, has produced a new battery for us.
Yeah, it's all solid state, it's all singing, it's all dancing. Like these cells have got like 3 times the density of regular sort of lithium-ion batteries, which means better sort of vape, life in your vape devices, really. Not only that, they run at lower temperatures, so they're a hell of a lot safer, apparently, which is another win for vaping. Yeah, I mean, just shut up and take my money. It really is a case of shut up and take my money. It just sounds great, there's nothing bad about this. I mean, lithium-ion as a technology has been around for a long time. There have been improvements on it, but we're talking just sort of minor tweaks, and there's kind of only so much you can do with this. And so to have like a new technology for batteries, that's really exciting. Yeah, and another way to put it, what that could mean to vaping, you could have batteries that are smaller than a single 18650. Yeah, you could have a single 18350 that could almost sort of outlast your dual 18650 mods as they are today. That's just kind of mind blowing, and also they potentially be a lot safer. Running at these lower temperatures, and very exciting. It's good. Are you excited? You should be excited. I'm excited. I kind of don't know what else to say. It's exciting, right?
I think Professor John Goodenough should definitely change his name to Professor John Above Average. Or excellent. Exceedingly good.
That's Mr. Kipling. Exceeds expectations. Yeah, so these batteries use solid glass electrolytes instead of liquid that you would find in your sort of usual lithium-ion batteries. And that glass setup allows for the use of sodium in it, salt, which means it's easily available. Yeah, so I mean, even just looking at the composition of it, the sodium and stuff, it just sounds a lot safer, on the basis of that. And the fact that it operates at the lower temperatures, that's going to be really good for vaping.
Fuck yeah!
So yeah. Nice. Something to look forward to.
Good enough. Okay guys, so that about wraps it up for news articles for March and April. There you go, double header.
Technically a little bit of May there, May the 1st.
I was going to go with a joke about double barrels there, but we'll just skip right over it.
Yeah.
So, rounding off the news articles, if we fucked up anywhere, let us know in the comments down below. Send us an email, anything you like. Just, you know, we're not afraid to say when we've got something wrong. We'll put a correction at the next available opportunity. So if we have fucked up, let us know.
Yeah, we need to look up about the smoking on Navy ships, whether cigarettes are banned, because I reckon they are. But yeah, we'll find out, and we'll correct ourselves, or you can correct us. Just take pride in correcting us, show us where we've gone wrong. Yeah, usually this is also the point where we correct mistakes we made in the previous vlog, but I don't think there were any. We haven't had any corrections for the last one, so it's good. We're starting to get our shit together. So yeah, that's nice.
Or no one's just telling us, and we're being stupid all the way along.
Just laughing at us. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's what we're here for.
We're used to it. Right, guys, moving on to the section that would normally be called Ask Smog Vlog, but we haven't actually managed to put much together this month because we're kind of busy. Let's run down this in order anyway, because we've got something written in here which was about the giveaway. We asked ages ago about what people wanted for a giveaway. I think a few people answered us saying about tanks, juices, mods. No, there was no real clear winner. If no one comes forward and we don't get a winner out of this, it's just going to be a pair of my used underpants, I'm afraid.
Think about it, we may need to get that up really quick, the competition, because what happens once TPD kicks in? Are we even allowed to do it? You know, giving away, promoting vaping stuff, or so, you know, we'll find out. I mean,
I don't know. It's a massive fucking grey area, like a lot of it.
So competition may be coming very soon. So yeah, keep posted. Keep checking them videos that we put up.
So very quickly in the Ask Smog Vlog section, which doesn't really make any fucking sense because this is going to be a shout out. I'm shouting out to a bloke, a fella my brother works with up in London. He was kind enough to send me a shitload of like little e-juices, different flavours. Lovely. Some of them really nice, some of them not my bag. So Dom, if you're listening, he should be listening because he's a fan, he's a subscriber.
Fans.
Dom, you are shouted out. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Keep up the good work.
Okay, keep pulling it back to questions. I mean, I had a question come in about the e-leaf iPower, saying I heard these explode. Is that true? And I've done loads of scouring about the e-leaf iPower, and no, can't find any examples of that. Yeah, we think they're quite a safe device. You know, you don't even have to worry about 18650s. It's got a built-in battery, so you know that the right battery is inside. They've got a fairly forgiving charger where you can plug it in. Not like some vape devices where you can only have half an amp. And otherwise, all shit breaks loose. So, they're pretty safe, pretty decent. We've had no trouble with ours. We've heard no reports on the web of anyone else having issues with this. So yeah, I think in answer to that question, pretty safe.
So next up on the question sort of front, while this isn't going to be an actual answer, it's more of a what we've got to do in the future sort of thing. Another fucking thing to put on the list is probably make sort of beginner videos, because we both keep answering questions and they're always along the same sort of lines. And while we haven't got a problem answering them, if you fucking ask them, we will guarantee you'll get an answer from us. It might be at 3 o'clock in the morning and not make much fucking sense, but I'll do my best to correct it, later on. But it's all to do with the combinations that you can get. I mean, we've spoken about combinations before, about what goes where, but it's also a question of milliamp hours. It's the technical sort of things like milliamp hours in batteries, size of tanks, e-juice ratios, coil resistance, and it's all stuff that is good to know, but in actual conveying that information in a typed format where you're replying to someone's email, I sit there at the computer and I think, I've got all this fucking information. I'm like, how the fuck do I write this down? I just wish I was sitting in front of a fucking camera so that we could just talk about it. It's easier when you ping pong it like this, back and forth, because stop being disgusting when I'm trying to make it. No, I'm joking. Continue. I like it. We all like it. That's what we're here for. It's better when we're sitting like this, because more information will come out. Someone will think of something, someone else will think of another thing, and between us we'll get sort of like all of the information out there that needs to be out there, that you guys want to know.
That's the thing, like stuff like core resistance, to fully understand core resistance, and you mentioned milliamp hours, and then you start needs to look at Ohm's law, and it's all really simple once you've got it. But if you don't know that, like you don't know what you don't know until you do. So yeah, we are going to pull our finger out and do a few beginner videos to get that out there. Hopefully, sort of explain it in our sort of easy to understand, if not a little bit waffly kind of way, and just get that done. Right, okay, so yeah, as you may have noticed, we disappeared for pretty much all of last month. Yeah, April we were MIA, and we both had some sort of long overdue holidays. So Tony, tell us about your hollybobs.
Hollybobs. I went on a fucking cruise.
I'm on a boat, motherfucker.
I know we've gone through the whole review, but is anyone liking also the beard? Because I had a bit of a trim up before I went away on holiday.
You've got some like grey bits down here.
That is actually left over from
Santa
in December.
I know, it looks kind of weird. Looks like you've been sort of dipping it in something.
This is Mrs. Doubtfire sort of thing. Anyway, back on track. Holiday. Yeah, so I went on a fucking cruise, and never been on a fucking boat in my life before. Why are you shivering?
I get seasickness.
Oh dear.
Yeah, last time I was on a boat, admittedly it was a small boat and it was fucking wavy, and I was like, I'm going to be sick, I really don't want to be sick. So instead of being sick, I passed out, and then I woke up with the captain, skipper, whatever it is, standing on my head when we got back to port, because he was like mooring up, and just stood and moved. I passed out on his boat. I wasn't sick though, I felt so fucking awful. So yeah, I don't like to think about doing a cruise. Was it good?
Slack has all the interesting stories, doesn't he? Yeah, so luckily it was a bit bigger than that, so the waves weren't really an issue, and it had stabilisers on board, and I didn't even see the captain, but he did hear him every day because he'd like to make his announcements. The annoying bastard.
Study, Captain Clark.
Yeah, if only it was that fucking good. Anyway, it's not about that, it's about what I took. So, Relo 200S.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. What else did I take? Pico, Dual, and iPower, 80 watt as well. Tanks was Mellow 300, both with RBA and the good heads, not the bad heads. I don't think we put up the review yet. No, we haven't. Not. We haven't put up the review yet. It will be coming after this, don't worry.
Yeah, we've been busy, hence the holidays.
Sorry. And juice, I probably combined took about a litre's worth of juice separated into 100ml bottles. Because you never know, you just don't fucking know. I mean, it was all different flavours as well, just to mix it up a bit. And I over-prepare. It was a good time, had fucking brilliant, took awesome shots. Check out Instagram. Some of them are there, some of them probably going to be uploaded soon.
You could flash some up now.
Could do, but then how will we entice people to go over to Instagram and follow us over there as well?
Flash them up really quickly, so I have to sort of go to Instagram to look. Oh, breadcrumbs. Leave a little trail off to Instagram.
It's starting to sound like subliminal messaging.
That'll
do. He's asking me to tell you where I went. I think southern Spain was one of them. I'll finish the story off with it was an all expenses paid boat trip,
including alcohol,
and there was an open bar.
I can't believe we didn't see Drunk Tony. That's so disappointing. Drunk Tony is awesome. It's a rare occurrence.
Believe me, I didn't see him either.
Yeah,
fucking wanker.
Kept pulling his trousers down.
he left me with the fucking headache though.
Yeah.
Over to you. Where the fuck did you go?
Yeah, just wearing the American flag there. So I was out in Florida, and it was amazing. Had a really good time hitting up the theme parks, and it was really good fun. I love theme parks, Disney and Universal, and yeah, it was good. So before I went, I said I might give up vaping, and then said, actually I might kill people if I do that. And I was a bit worried once I said that. I thought, America are even going to let me in the country? Obviously I'm joking. I'm talking about the stress. Back when I used to smoke, you go to cold turkey and you get really snippy and stressed, and that wouldn't be fun to be about. So I thought, you know what, I will take some vape stuff. I took the eLeaf iPower 80 watt, and my trusty rose gold crown, which Tony doesn't let me talk about, so I'm just going to talk about how wonderful that is as a tank. I mean, it's just like one of the best tanks ever. Such a leap forward when it came, and it's not about that. But yeah, that was all I took. I took like less than 60 mils of juice with me as well. And the idea was that I'd only vape in the evenings when I got back to the villa, and that pretty much worked. Except for in the mornings, I didn't figure that, because usually at home I don't really vape in the house in the morning. Unless I'm up really early with the dog. I'll just vape in the car on the way to work. That'll be where I start vaping, not before that. But at the villa, when everyone's getting ready, I'm like, have breakfast, my amazing American Fruit Loops, and then just go stand out by the pool. And, it was great. Really liked it. I was vaping almost exclusively One Hit Wonder Rocket Man, and it was just great. Loved it. Holiday wise, yeah, it was really cool. Ended up renting a Mustang GT 5 litre beast convertible. It was really good fun, really awesome, even though driving on the wrong side of the road is terrifying. It is the wrong side of the road. It was terrifying, but yeah, awesome car, awesome time. Even got a bit of a tan. You can't tell. That's tan for me, right? I'm usually pasty white, so I've got the panda eyes going on even more than usual from wearing the sunglasses. So yeah, it was awesome time. And yeah, vaping cut down massively while I was there, just because I was so busy doing stuff. Vaping and smoking in the theme parks is sort of like, you have to vape in designated smoking areas, which is fine. Except there's usually like two. These parks are big. The nearest theme park to us here in the UK, from where I am, is going to be Thorpe Park, and you can walk around that in about 5 minutes. But there in like Disneyland and stuff, it take you like hours to sort of walk around the perimeter of it. They've got trains that run around the outside, for fuck's sake, and they've got like two vaping smoking areas, at complete opposite ends, and that's it. There's not a lot of provisions for it, so I wasn't too worried about not having my vape stuff with me, because it would have been a pain to actually try and vape while I'm in the parks. But as I was busy having so much fun going on with stupid rides and stuff, and I just didn't even really think about it. Didn't get stressed, which I think partly was because I knew I had it back at the villa to go back to. I think if I knew I wouldn't be able to vape for like 2 weeks, I think that might have added to the stress. And the only times I really missed not having it with me was like after a meal. And that, I think, harks back to cigarettes, the classic after dinner cigarette. And I've definitely replaced that with vaping. And I didn't really realise how much of a thing that was until the first day I was there, and like I've been absolutely fine, hadn't thought about vaping, had a nice meal, and I'm like, right, oh no, not going for a vape. I'm just going to sit here and drink Mr. Pibb. But yeah, it was alright. It was a really nice holiday, a well-earned break. First time I've been away since like 2013, so did it properly, and we're back now. We've got a shitload of stuff to get back on track here in Smog Vlog Tower, and it's good to be back. It is good to be back. Still not fully recovered from the jet lag. Still need like about 14 hours sleep a night. But we're back.
God no, I'm still not straight either, and I've been back.
You've never been straight.
That's true. I've been back longer than he has, and what I will say about being on a sort of like a captive audience cruise ship sort of thing is the amount of conversations you have with different people on the boat, especially about vaping, because there's certain sections of the boat you can smoke and vape on, certain bits you can't. Luckily, it was all around the bar areas, so I was fucking sorted. But the conversations that I have with people, some of them were new vape. Well, the majority of them were new vapors. They had very basic starter sets, and the start of the conversations were always, "Oh, are you not worried about the dangers of vaping?" No word of a lie. That was the beginning of every conversation. Even though these guys sort of had these basic starters, they were also smoking at the same time, and these conversations I had with them, is they'll be sat there having a fag and just like, oh yeah, I've got one of these as well, I'll just keep that in my pocket, I'm worried about it might kill me.
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, my mum's like that. Is just like scared of vaping, but you smoke, which is bad. You get that there's an air of mystery around vaping, an air of uncertainty. It hasn't had the years that smoking have. But we know smoking is better.
Yeah.
We're getting back into the news articles.
It really
now.
is. I mean, and that is how I felt on the cruise, because I had loads of conversations, and it just felt like I was doing a vlog over again, because we're going through all the information from the years that we've been doing it. So 95% safer. E-juices are good. Cigarettes are really fucking bad. We know that it will kill you. But you know, I went there with we have business cards made up for the channel. I went there with a fucking stack of business cards, and I think I came back with 2. So I was well chuffed about that. Handing out information to people that were unsure about actually getting into vaping, and putting their minds at rest about the various aspects of it they were sort of like worried about, and saying to them, look, if you've got any fucking questions, just hit us up on the channel. We'll always answer your questions, no matter what.
Yeah, so hi if you're watching from Tony's cruise ship.
Okay, guys, so there's a few things in the vlog that we haven't actually managed to touch on. You perv! Whether we do a separate video or we'll just roll it into the next vlog, who knows? Like you said, we've got other stuff that we need to do as well, like in terms of videos that we need to put out, and before we put those out, we've got to get them written up and have some sort of order for them. So we'll look forward to seeing that happening.
Yeah, but it's great to be back on our shit now. So yeah, it's good to be back on the sofa, talking vaping and doing Smog vlog stuff. So yeah.
Okay, guys, so that about wraps it up for this vlog. We hope you like what you're seeing and what we're doing for you. If you do, please drop a like and do the whole subscribe thing, because it helps us out a lot. Also, follow us on the social media, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We are quite
chatty, and yeah, sharing is caring. So if you like what you're seeing, please give us a share on the social media. But for now, guys, thanks very much for watching Smog Vlog. Right. Oh, that's nice. Ooh. How do we do this again? Oh God! Something about Smog Vlog. Doing some things.
something review something.
Go. Ah.
Lots of innuendo.
Innuendo. Oh.
Hi, I'm Tony. I nearly fucking said my name wrong.
How long has it been?
Hi,
I'm here. Presentation.
Names aren't important.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're here.
We're all here. Now, I have previously warned Slack that I did have a curry this evening, and the studio is a fairly small room, and the door's closed. So, if at any time during the review, or the vlog, should I say, that Slack starts throwing up uncontrollably, we'll all be on the same page. So move this keyboard around. It's taking up too much space. Shall I move it the other way? Why is it wet?
It's not wet.
Why is it wet?
It's e-juice.
Just dripped on me.
Oh, dude, I had an e-juice explosion. So I had like my grape vape, and I was filling up a smaller bottle. And I was like doing the whole pouring it in like that, and the fucking top, the
oh,
tip,
I've done that, yeah.
It exploded. I was in my boxer shorts, and that's it, and it just went like all over me. I'm like,
and
I need to explain this one.
And over the Smog Vlog keyboard as well.
Yeah, it's everywhere. So yeah, we're not letting Smog Dog in there because she'll just hoover.
Everyone take note for the future. If you get caught, it was e-juice.
It's just e-juice.
It's just e-juice.
It just happens to look milky and white.
For God's sakes, don't taste it. I had that before I went on holiday. Doing the e-juice. That don't look fucking right. Every last drop. Or at least take cues from it, which would be good. Hold on, I also want to put in his...
I don't want to put anything in, it's fine, you keep going.
I want to put in his quote for that, or do you do it?
I was about to do it. That's what I was waiting to
Fucking
do.
do it then. But make it really cool.
Yeah, his chiefest.
Sorry, curry. I told you.
You can kind of understand where it comes from.
The ceremonial phone call during the review.
Hello. Great. Oh. Dickhead. Right, moving swiftly around the globe to Australia. G'day.
Gadang, you flaming galah.
Brilliant. Oh, man, stop filling your fucking face. TGA. Yeah.
So, staying in the Australian neck of the woods, a little bit higher, New Zealand.
No.
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 Are you sure?
Yeah, where are you getting New Zealand from?
It says that he runs the New Zealand-based
Don't worry about
Illusion
New Zealand.
Company.
This is Australia, though, so staying in Australia. Because it's the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Right. Ready?
Yep.
So, totting up our next article, Plain Stupid.
Yeah, so there's a lawsuit happening in America against the United States Department of Transport, which is trying to basically reverse the ban of vaping on airplanes. So the argument is that vaping, and second degree vaping, secondary, tertiary,
Secondary.
secondary.
Second degree vaping. Oh shit, I've suffered third degree vaping.
Shut up.
Over 80% of my body, nurse. Sponge bath. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I don't remember where I got to now because you just spent 5 minutes talking shit.
Secondary vaping.
Secondary vaping. Yeah, I still don't remember where I got to. Fuck, my nose was itchy. Shit. I had like a hair tickling it for about the last 5 minutes. I'm like, damn it, why are we talking? Anyway, that's probably...
You can give it the sort of cheeky, sort of, like...
No, because I know it was like really tickling. Once I started, I wouldn't be able to stop for a bit.
Itchy armpit. You were talking for so long and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's not stopped itching.
Why didn't you just do a little subtle itch,
Oh, my words come back to bite me.